Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing how do we stop sinning? Well, the first thing to do when wanting to cancel anything, be it a streaming service subscription or a business venture, is to do a profit analysis. Does this sin really help me or does it hurt me? For example, Manasseh built a bunch of idols to foreign gods in 2 Chronicles chapter 33 verses 1 to 9, but the foreigners who worshipped those gods ended up invading Judah, and he was taken to exile in Babylon. So worshipping them didn't really work. So he started worshipping God, and he was eventually brought back to Jerusalem. Also, Jonah didn't want to preach to the people of Nineveh, but as he sailed across the Mediterranean, he was thrown off a ship and ended up in the belly of a fish. So that didn't work out well for him either. Then, you have to show God that the sin didn't actually help you. For example, in 1 Kings chapter 21 verse 27, Ahab was ashamed of taking Naboth's property, and he wept in sackcloth. And so, God punished his sons instead of him. Also, certain Jews were ashamed of what their leaders had done to Christ, according to Acts chapter 2 verse 37, and God, through Peter, was able to bring about 3,000 of them to the faith. That's what being pricked in the heart means. And finally, just like becoming sober or quitting drug use, you have to be willing to humble yourself and go through rehab. God said through Jeremiah, "Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against the Lord thy God, and hast scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and ye have not obeyed my voice, saith the Lord." Jeremiah chapter 3 verse 13. For example, after his adultery with Bathsheba, which triggered Absalom's coup, David recognized that Shimei cursing him was part of the punishment for the adultery, and he told Abishai, who wanted to get rid of him, "What have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord hath said unto him, Curse David. Who shall then say, Wherefore hast thou done so?" 2 Samuel chapter 16 verse 10. Okay, so we've done all that, and we actually want to take practical steps to deal with this sin. What do we do? Well, if this sin has hurt people, we should take steps to repair those relationships. For example, Zacchaeus pledged to give back money to the people he defrauded after he converted to Christianity, in Luke chapter 19 verse 8. If we have trouble with stealing, we should return the things we stole to their owners, including to multinational chains. And if our lies have hurt people, we should tell them the truth and try to be more truthful in the future. As you're doing this, give God updates on the situation. Tell him about the 3 things that made you repent, and the things you're doing to not sin again. Nehemiah wasn't even a sinner, and yet he made this kind of prayer in Nehemiah chapter 1. He described Israel's sin, showed he was sorry because of it, and revised God's steps for bringing the nation back to the promised land. Again, if you're a thief, tell God about the stuff you've returned and how you feel about your thefts. And if you're a liar, tell God about the truths you've revealed and how you've repaired your relationships with people. Finally, isolate yourself from things that might tempt you to sin again. The people of Israel in the time of the Judges destroyed their idols instead of simply storing them in sheds, in Judges chapter 10 verse 16, so that they could reestablish a truly monotheistic religion. And in Ezra chapter 9, the people of Israel divorced their foreign wives, so that they wouldn't be tempted to return to polytheism later. So again, if you're a thief, you might have to avoid certain stores with products you might want to take. And any ex-alcoholic can tell you that you might have to stop drinking totally to keep yourself sober. And so, that's my advice on how we can stop sinning as Christians. If you found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Goodbye everyone.